Students, Sairam, this is Megha Miss here, and today we are going to continue with our lesson number 1, that is laws of motion. That is our session 2. Now in previous session we studied lot of definitions. I told you to revise all the definitions. If you remember, we did distance, displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration. Yes, different types, that is uniform motion, non-uniform motion, uniform acceleration, non-uniform acceleration, positive, negative, zero acceleration. Yes, I hope you are remembering everything what we studied last presentation. So please go through the definitions and formulas I told you to revise. Yes, they are very important because we are going to require it while deriving the Newton's laws. Okay students, now today's presentation we will start with, that is we are going to plot the different graphs and we are going to see the nature of the graph. Now the first one is the distance time graph for the uniform motion. Now you have already studied what is uniform motion. Yes. Now see here, the following table shows the distances covered by a car in a fixed time intervals. Okay students, so this is the table which is showing the distances that is covered by the car and the fixed time interval. So time is in seconds, you can see here in the table, and distances in meters. So for 0, that is 0 seconds means when it is at rest, the car, it is covering 0 meters of distance. Then 10 minutes it is covering 15, 20 it is covering 30 minutes it is covering 45. Yes, so like this it is covering a distances. Now what we have going to find out, the nature of the graph, how should be the graph. Okay, means whether I am getting a curve graph, whether I am getting a straight line graph, that I have to find out. Okay, so we will start plotting it now. Like this graph paper, if you have at home, try to plot this and you will also find the nature of the graph. Okay students, now here if you see, I'll just show you how. Now for 0, you know it is my origin here, so this is my 0 point will be coming here. Okay, then next is my 10. For 10 it covered a distance of 15. For 20 it covered a distance of how much it was, first it was 15, then it became 30, then it for 30 it covered a distance of 45. So like this it went on covering the distances, the car. Yes, now when like this I will plot all the points, what I will see from the origin, when I draw the line I am going to get it in this way. Okay, now here I am showing you on the this video, but when you will do it on the paper you will get it very clearly. Okay students, so like this you are going to get a straight line. Yes, which is going to pass through your origin. So here you see that when you have the distances which are equal, time interval is also equal, then the nature of the graph is what? The nature of the graph is a straight line. Distances are equal means the difference between the distances are equal. Now see, first was 0, then it was 15, then after 15 it became 30, means between 30 and 15 difference was 15. Then it became 45, so difference between 45 and 30 is 15. Yes, so equal distances are covered in equal time intervals, so the nature of the graph is a straight line. Did you understand student? Scale also you will write here according to this. X-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 10 seconds and y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 20 meters. Okay, try to plot this graph at your home and find the nature of the graph. It is given in your text. Okay, now the next graph we are going to see, that is before that we will just see the statement. An object in uniform motion covers equal distances in equal time intervals. Thus, the graph between distance and time is a straight line. Okay student, what I told you before. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Distance time graph for a non-uniform motion. Okay, now the following table shows the distances covered by a bus in equal time intervals. Time interval is equal. Can you see 0, 5, 10, 15 means it is the table of 5, right? But when you see the distance, is it 7, 12, 20, anyhow it is increasing. Yes, so here the distance changes non-uniformly with time. Thus, the bus is having non-uniform motion. Okay student, this tells us that the bus is having a non-uniform motion. Okay, and tell me what will be the nature of graph, students. Will it be a straight line? No, it is not going to be a straight line. You can get it as a curve. Okay, students. Now, this was about the uniform and non-uniform motion. Now we are going to do the next graph, that is velocity time graph for uniform velocity. Okay, student. Now a train is moving with a uniform velocity. Okay, what is means the uniform velocity means velocity is not changing. It is constant value, that is 60 km per hour. For 5 hours, it has not changed its velocity. Now we have to answer some questions with the help of the graph. With the help of the graph, how will you determine the distance covered by a train between 2 and 4 hours? Okay, so we have to find, here I'll just show you. You have to find the distance covered between this 4 to 2 hours. Okay, now this difference between this 4 to 2 hours. 4 minus 2, how many hours? 2 hours. So we have to find the distance between this 2 hours, how much this train has covered. Okay, students. Then what is our second question? First question you understood. We have to find the distance covered by the train, okay, between 4 to 2 hours or 2 to 4. Anyhow, that means we have to, how much time is, we have to consider between 2 to 4 means 2 hours. Yes, 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay. Now next question is there a relation between the distance covered by the train between 2 and 4 hours and the area of the particular quadrangle in the graph? Can you see you are getting a quadrangle here? AB. Can you see this? AB is there? Yes. B, D, CD and AC. Am I getting a quadrangle? Yes. This quadrangle is a rectangle. Okay, students. Now we have to find how much distance is covered. Velocity is 60, means this part is my 60. Okay, means my length is 60. Yes, and how much is the difference? This my breadth, 4 minus 2 is 2. So my breadth is 2. So can I find the area of this rectangle with the formula length into breadth? Yes, I can find it. Okay, students. So we'll see whether whatever answer we are getting for this area is similar to the distance travelled by the train. Okay, and what question they have asked? What is the acceleration of the train? So we have to also see what is the acceleration. Okay, we will continue. See here. Okay, S is equal to V into T. This is our formula we are going to use. Okay, is equal to 60 multiplied by 4 minus 2. As I told you, time we are going to take the difference, 4 minus 2. So it is 60 multiplied by 2. We got 120 kilometer. That is our S. Okay, distance. What is covered by the train between 2 to 4 hours. Okay, students. Now next part was what? Area of quadrangle we have to find. Yes, so area of quadrangle, as I told you, we are going to take the formula length into breadth. Can you see here I have written L into B because that quadrangle is a rectangle there. Okay, we saw it was 60 was the length multiplied by 2 was the breadth. So again I got 120 square kilometers we write. Yes, for area. So it is square kilometer. So can you see the values are same, 120, 120? Yes. So the area of the quadrangle is equal to the distance travelled by the train between 2 to 4 hours. Okay, students. So this is equal to the distance travelled by the train. And what will be the acceleration? As no change in the velocity, acceleration is going to be 0. We have studied zero acceleration. When the zero acceleration is there. Yes, when there is no change in the velocity, we say that the acceleration is 0. Okay, students, did you understand this? Okay, now we will do the next slide. Now velocity time graph for uniform acceleration. Now the changes in the velocity of a car in a specific time intervals are given in the following table. You can see velocity is changing. 5, 10 is the time intervals. Velocity is given 8, 16, 24, 32. Okay. Now here also you can see that the changes in the velocity is with equal with that in the changes with the time intervals. They are also equal. Okay. So again, how will be the nature of graph? Yes students, it is going to be a straight line. See here, this is the way you're going to get a graph. Can you see a straight line graph is there when I plotted the points? Yes. Okay, so this is the velocity time graph for the uniform velocity. When the uniform acceleration is there, you're going to get it in this way. Okay students, now next part we will see, that is the velocity time graph in figure 1.8. what we saw now, graph shows that the velocity changes by equal amounts in equal time intervals. As I told you that the velocity is changing in equal amounts in equal time intervals. Yes, thus this is uniform acceleration in accelerated motion. What we called it as uniform acceleration in accelerated motion. Okay, for all uniformly accelerated motions, the velocity time graph is a straight line. So whenever you have uniform acceleration motion, the velocity time graph is going to be a straight line. For non-uniformly accelerated motion, the velocity time graph may have any shape. Okay student, not if it is non-uniform acceleration, then the velocity time graph will have any shape depending on how the acceleration changes with time. Okay student, it will depend upon the acceleration, how it is changing with the time. Okay, I hope you understood all these graphs. Okay, please go in through your textbook and try to plot the graph which are not done in the text, and try to find the values again. You can solve it on your own. Okay students, now we are going to start with the equations of motion using graphical method. Okay, using the graphical method only we are going to derive some equations. Now Newton studied motion of an object and gave a set of 3 equations of motion. Okay, he gave a set of 3 equations of motion. These relate the displacement, velocity, acceleration and time of an object moving along a straight line. How will be the movement of the object? Through a straight line. Okay, and there is what you can say, relation is found out between the velocity, acceleration, displacement and time. Okay, so this is done by the Newton. Okay, now see here, suppose an object is in motion along a straight line. Very important student, motion of the object should be along a straight line. Remember, with initial velocity u, it attains a final velocity. Now only we have studied previous work and energy chapter. I told you always initial velocity will be 0. Okay, it attains a final velocity. Velocity will change when the object is moving. Okay, so that final velocity it will go and reach, that we will consider as v. In time t, due to acceleration a. So these are all the symbols for the particular terms which you have to remember. Okay, acceleration a, its displacement is s. What is its displacement? S. Okay, the 3 equations of motion can be written as, now these are the 3 important equations of motion which we are going to derive. Okay, now the first one is v is equal to u plus at. Now this is the relation between velocity and time. Okay, first equation shows us the relation between velocity and time. Okay students, second equation, s is equal to ut plus half at square. This is a relation between displacement and time. Okay, it is showing the relationship between displacement and time. Third one, you have v square is equal to u square plus 2as. This we have used, if you remember, in our work and energy chapter. Yes, so this is the relation between displacement and velocity. Okay students, so I hope all these 3 are very important formulas, also very important derivations, and we are going to learn this one by one. I want you to solve it in your book when you see this video. Okay, along with me. Yes, then you will understand how we have come to that end of the derivation. Okay, that particular formula how we have derived. Okay, so today we are going to do the first one, that is the v is equal to u plus at. Okay student, now we'll start. See, equation describing relation between velocity and time. There is a change in velocity with time of an uniformly accelerated object. Now as it is uniform acceleration, that means it is a straight line graph, it is there, right? Now see here, the object starts from the point D in the graph with velocity u. Okay, now this here is the graph, you can see besides only, this is my D point. Okay, so from this the object is going to start. So first between this O to D, it is going to have the initial velocity as it is at the rest. So the initial velocity is going to be u, which is 0. You remember this. Okay, now its velocity keeps increasing, and there is a change in velocity. So velocity will keep changing, and after time t it reaches the point B on the graph. Can you see this point B on the graph? Yes. So its final velocity, what we are considering it as v. Yes, so see here, the initial velocity of object u is equal to OD. I have showed it in the red color, right? The final velocity of the object is equal to v. That means from O to this C. Okay, that is your final velocity. Okay, so OC is your final velocity, which we are going to take it as v. Okay, then what? Time we are going to take it as t. Okay, so see here, we have taken time here. Okay, so this is our x-axis, on that we have plotted our time. So O to this E, this is E point, what you are going to get? You are going to get it as t. You are going to write it as t. Okay, I'll just show you E. Yes, can you see the E? Okay, so my OE is the time. Okay students, I hope these terms all you understood. Okay, what we have taken. Now we will see that how our derivation will continue. Okay, now see here, next slide. Now acceleration, you have studied this formula in last presentation. A is equal to change in velocity of time. Yes, change in velocity upon time. So what is change in velocity? Final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. Okay, now final velocity, we have seen that what is our final velocity. If you remember, what is our final velocity we wrote? OC. Yes, we wrote this OC is our final velocity. Yes, and what is our initial velocity? This OD is our initial. Yes, upon time we have taken as t. So we have written OC minus OD, you can see it here, upon t. Okay, so what we are getting? We are getting that is A. This is acceleration, here this is A, right? So A is equal to OC minus OD upon t. Now OC, this OC minus OD, if you do this small portion, what you are getting? Are you getting CD? From this big CO or OC you can take. When I subtract this smaller part, what is the remaining part, upper part? CD. Okay, so have I written therefore CD is equal to 80. How you got CD is equal to 80? This when you minus, I get answer CD upon T. Okay, so now when this T is multiplied by A, what I am getting? 80. Okay, so what I have written? CD is equal to 80. Did you understand this? Okay, do it on your own when I am doing it as I told you. Okay, now see here. Now what we have to do? Draw a line parallel to y-axis passing through the B. Okay, so here we have drawn a parallel line. This will cross the x-axis in E. Draw a line parallel to x-axis passing through D. This will cross the line BE at A. Okay, so here what we are going to do? We are going to draw the parallel lines. You can see the dotted parallel lines are drawn to the x-axis. Okay, BC is drawn. Can you see AD? Okay, you can see BA and AE. Okay, like this all whatever the dotted lines are there, they are the parallel lines which are drawn. Okay students, now see here. From the graph, now from the graph what we are getting? You can see the same graph only I am showing. Okay, now from the graph if you see, I'll just show you, that is BE is equal to, now where is BE? This is our BE. Yes, whole thing. is equal to AB, this part, AB plus AE, this part. Yes, now therefore now BE means what? Here OC was V. Yes, so here BE will be V. Okay student, what it will be? V. So we have written V is equal to, instead of BA, can I write it as CD? Instead of my BA, this part, can I write this CD part? Yes, because it is same. Yes, they are equal. So what I can write instead of that, can you see, instead of this BA or AB, I have written as CD. Okay, and instead of AE means this smaller part, AE part, this smaller part, can I write instead of that OD? Yes, so see, instead of AE I have written it as OD. Okay, now why? See, they have given here because they are equal. Yes, now you know CD we have seen before only. What value you got? 80. What is the OD value? This value, initial velocity value, U. Okay, so we got the formula V is equal to U plus 80. This U I have taken first and 80 I have written next. Okay, so what our formula became? V is equal to U plus 80. Yes, we got our formula. Yes, so this is the first equation of motion. So this is the first Newton's equation of motion. Okay, or you can say Newton's first equation of motion. Okay, I hope you understood this derivation. Try to do it on your own. You will definitely understand it. Okay students, okay, I hope you will do it and try it. Yes, so see here, now we have come into our presentation. So today we studied about distance time graph for uniform and non-uniform motion. Okay, yes, we saw the distance time graph for both uniform motion, straight line graph, non-uniform motion, it can be of any shape. Velocity time graph for uniform velocity we saw. Yes, then velocity time graph for uniform acceleration we saw. And for non-uniform acceleration, it can be of any shape, that also we studied. Next we saw about the Newton's first equation of motion. That was what? V is equal to U plus 80. We saw its derivation. So for today, I'll stop it here. In the next presentation, we will continue with our next derivations. Okay students, please try to solve these derivations in your book. Okay, thank you. Saira.